Welcome to the highlights of my Pokemon Platinum Ditto % playthrough. This was requested by Ace Trainer Joshua. This was requested after I completed Pokemon Fire Red entirely with Muck, as requested by Ace Trainer Alyssa. This was a very challenging and tough run, but I actually got it done. The highlights are really long, but I wanted to thoroughly explain all the rules and everything that goes on along the way. But basically, to simplify the rules at the beginning, I'm using everything available in the game as resources. So I'm going to use X attacks, X defense, glitches. I actually used a glitch by accident, but the person who requested the run actually approved it to be used. So everything in here is basically speedrun 80% rules. I'm a huge speedrunner, so let's get this started. I will thoroughly explain everything. If you have any questions, comment below. Since the year is 2019, Professor Rowan needs to play it safe and asks us if we are a boy or a girl. Like with all RPGs, I make myself a girl, and my name is Aubrey because I like to be creative with my RPGs, because I feel like it's lame if I just made myself in an RPG. I confirm my name with Professor Rowan because, like with most people in my life, they do not listen at all. With my rivals in Pokemon lately, I've been naming them Whiskey, and at the time of the recording, I was 79 days sober. Today, I am 95 days sober when I'm recording the audio for this video. Professor Rowan is clearly not an alcoholic because he does not ask what kind of whiskey it is, bourbon, scotch, or Canadian whiskey, so we continue on with our journey. Professor Rowan and his assistant Lucas are pretty concerned right now since it is 2019 and there are 2 kids actually playing outside instead of staying in their homes and playing Fortnite. So he goes and gives them a Pokemon so they can become Pokemon trainers. At this point, I am taking forever picking Ditto because I am contemplating whether I want to go through this hellish nightmare. Next up, Whiskey shows that he is exactly 40% alcohol and wants to battle with his Pokemon immediately to get his Pokemon in immediate danger. So the first rival battle with Whiskey is a preview for things to come. As you can see, Ditto only has transform as like in every other game that Ditto is in, and Ditto can transform into the other Pokemon and learns its moves only 5 EP of each. So Ditto has very limited time to actually defeat the other Pokemon, and it only copies the moves. I don't even think it copies the stats, honestly. I have to research more into it. But we only have, if we have more HP, we have an HP advantage. But other than that, we really don't have an advantage at all. So, as you can see in this battle, we don't have very good moves. We only have Pound and I think Growl. So we run out of moves and we have to use Struggle, and with Struggle we get hit. And we get, even though our attack is very low right now, we still attack ourselves with a ton of damage when we use Struggle. So we blacked out against Whiskey, which, yeah, usually do. But on the first fight, That's not good in a playthrough. So after we black out against our rival Whiskey, our mom gives us the running shoes, and we actually drink some whiskey where it actually feels like it, because we go with Whiskey to the lake and see this crazy guy on the lake, saying insane things and wondering why he lives and stuff, like that. So, after Lucas treating me like an idiot and like I've never played Pokemon in my life before, showing me around town what the Pokemon in the Pokemon Center is, I decided to grind my Pokemon because I knew that the next part of the game would not be easy, with Ditto just stagnant at level 5. So I go out to the wild and grind, and it takes a very, very long time, and I just speed it up. I'm going to cut a lot of these parts out or speed it up or show you very little of it. So this is the grinding at the beginning. And after a lot of grinding, I actually decide to move forward with the story, and Lucas treats me more like an idiot, and he shows me how to catch Pokemon. But after that, I run into my first trainer battle since my rival battle with Whiskey, and that actually goes over pretty good. I actually win that one, so that gives me a little bit of hope for the future, even though I actually grinded to like level 9 before I actually faced my first trainer. But whatever. I know I'm gonna have to be very over leveled in this run, so we'll see how the rest of the run goes. After wasting an incredible amount of time in Jubilife City doing the least productive things, I actually have to battle Whiskey again to advance the story, and this is our first roadblock in the playthrough. Whiskey is extremely hard to take down. He actually got a Starly, so I have to transform into Starly first of all. And then he has Piplup, and of course both Pokemon are leveled up from our first battle, and this is going to actually take me a very long time grinding. So as you can see, Starly is at level 7, and the upcoming Piplup is at level 9, and my Ditto, or Sobriety, is at level 10, and even though I'm higher level than both Starly and Piplup, I know, like, my first trainer battle when I was 4 levels above the very weak, Bidoof, I think, or no, was it Bidoof? No, it was Starly. It was Starly that I was, facing in my first trainer battle other than Whiskey. I'm going to have to get very over leveled, and this is going to take hours and hours, but we're obviously going to skip through that and get to the end of when I actually defeat Whiskey eventually. My initial strategy to grind was to just keep going back to Whiskey, because I could easily defeat Whiskey's Starly. It was Piplup's honestly the hardest part, because you only have 5 moves of each. So you had to pretty much use all the moves on the Starly, and then once you get to Piplup, you're pretty much stuck with Struggle. But at least you can beat the Starly, and defeating a trainer's Pokemon, you get more experience than actually beating a wild Pokemon. Because that's actually why I kept going back to Whiskey to grind it first, but eventually I think I kept going in the I started going in the wild to battle Pokemon, but with a combination of the two, I eventually got the grinding done. um, 9 levels higher than Whiskey Starly. and 7 levels higher than Whiskey's Piplup, and I finally defeat him with ease, with quick attacks, and I finally get over the first roadblock of the playthrough. But unfortunately for me, it would not be the last. There would be lots of roadblocks in this playthrough, but the next one is actually the worst one. After the Whiskey battle, I actually have to go to Ouroboros City, and I have to face Rorik, the gym leader, and that is honestly one of the worst grinding sessions of all time. And we'll go to that pretty soon after we see this battle end.